Hello again. Some people recently emailed me just inquiring more about the supersource animation that I showed in a previous video, and while it's still work in progress, they just wanted to see a little bit more of the capabilities of it. Now, as I explained, the supersource is one form of keyframeable animation that I'm putting into the ATEM toolkit unit here, and of course it'll be extended out to the DVE and so on and so forth. But you can actually use the supersource for doing nice little transitions and things like that. And I'm just going to have a couple of quick demonstrations on just some saved ones that I've done here. I'm just going to fade over. This is supersource, so you see there me doing the fade, so I'm just going to fade up the supersource. It's a similar layout to what you saw in that last video, just 4 boxes. So I'm just going to come over to menu, go to palettes, go to supersource, and as you can see here I've got 4 boxes. They're all the different settings for those 4 boxes that you've seen on the monitor up there. So they're all the 4 boxes and that. In the artwork at the moment I've got enabled, I've got borders turned on so that you can see a bit of a bevel around the pictures there. But we'll just go back out to animate here, and if I just run this particular animation, now you can see we've got the start keyframe, 1, 2, 3 middles and an end keyframe, and I've actually got these set to a motion, not emotion, a motion. This is wrong. That should actually show ease in, because there are ease in, ease out, linear, hold, and there's another one as well. I can't remember. Oh, pause, so you can actually manually run each keyframe. But on this particular one here, I'm going to run this. So I'll just take up to the monitor up here. If I run that now, you'll see they're doing different motions, ease in and ease outs between the various keyframes. I'll just go back home again, run it again. You see there it starts in speed and it slows down as it gets to each keyframe, but they're all, every keyframe, and as I said, there's 5 keyframes up here all up. Every keyframe has its own motion control here, so you can just tap on it and change between the different motions, and they get stored along with all the separate settings for each box. So now if I just go into load mode, I'm just going to load another effect. Let's just go down to which one was it? This one, animate, copy, animate, just 4-way. This is an interest. Now you see when you save an animation, you give it a name, but you can also give it a description, so that when you're doing a load, as we've done here, the description comes up as well. So because I think there's only 8 characters you can put on this file system, so it gives you up to 80 characters to be able to describe it. So if I'm going to go into load now, it's now loading that. Now you can see there's only 2 keyframes in this, and you can see the duration is 1. Now this particular effect here, I'm going to run it first. If I run it, you can see that it brought in all the 4 boxes with the same source, but it lost its effect because it had a border on it. So let's just get rid of the border, and you'll then get an idea what it should be doing. So let's go into the art and border, just turn the border off. There we go, back, and go back into animate. And now if we go back up to the screen and I'll run the effect again, you can see it loads. Basically it's loading the 4 boxes, but the 4 boxes have got the same source, so that it gives you the effect. I'll just go back again. It gives you the effect as though you're doing a sort of a reveal, a four box reveal. So just go hit it again, and there it goes like that. Now I've got a variation on that one here. So if I just go to load, and we just go 4-way, this one is the same, but then you'll see then it'll do a slide off. So I just load that, and you can see there's a few more keyframes in here. And let's get back up to the screen, and I'll run that for you. And oh, I hit the wrong button. Let's just hit. Let's told to load again. So here we go. Here, it's terrible multitasking. Now, if I run the effect, you can see the same effect, but then they all do a individual slide off. And I'll just run that again for you. Let's go home, and then so you can actually put pauses in these. You can manually trigger it between each keyframe or whatever. So there it goes again. So it's got a bit of a pause in there, and then I take them off. But I can take them off a lot faster than what I'm doing there. But as I say, everything's totally, every keyframe you can have full control over. You can move things around as much as you like, and then once you put the positions and made your changes, you just can insert it back in again, or edit it, or what have you. Let me just go and see what else I got in here. Let's go to load. I think that's the one that I showed. Oh, that's the first one I had. But anyhow, so I just go box swap. This is an interesting one. This is a variation on what we had before, but this time I'm just going to run it, and you'll see that they just all move places. And again, it's got programmable motion in it, so it's not linear. I'll just run that again, but I'll just go and turn the border on, so you get a better idea what it's doing. So we're just going to go art and border. Turn it back on again, and let's go back out, and you can see when we go up here, there it is again with the borders on. And if I then run it, I'll go to animate, and then I'll just go run. You can see there it is doing all its tricky little movements. I'll do a few more examples a little later on when I get time. Because once you do your effect, you can just hit save here, and then you can then enter in the name of what you want to call it. You can enter in a note, and then when it saves, that can be recalled. The notes, as I just showed you before, etc., etc., etc. So let me just come out of here. Just go on board, come out of there, and so there you have it. Just right. And there it is. Okay, so look forward to the next video maybe.